Hey BookTube! I'm back!
Angels watching over me with smiles upon
I had a really big reading slump and an everything kind of slump. I took a little break from reading and from BookTube and everything, but now I'm back and I'm happy to be here with my March wrap-up. So this month I decided to read the books that were selected for Canada Reads. Now, Canada Reads is a program put out by CBC where they select 5 books and they get 5 celebrity panelists to debate the books over a series of 4 days. Each day a book is eliminated until there's one left. I only managed to read 3 of the 5 books this month, but I'm very glad of the ones that I've read because there is a good variety there, I believe. So I started with Oryx and Crake, which isn't on the Canada Reads list, but is the prequel for Year of the Flood, which was on the list. I have to say I was very disappointed by these books on so many levels, but I'm not going to talk about them because I did a review, so that will be linked in the down bar. So after that I picked up Cockroach by Rawi Hage. This, I'd have to say, is my favorite book of the month. I am going to do a separate review of it. I'm going to upload it after this video. I don't want to say too much, but if you're not interested in watching the review, just quickly, it's about a unnamed immigrant from what we're presuming is a Middle Eastern country. He comes to live in Montreal, and he is dealing with depression and maybe schizophrenia. Anyways, he has a slew of mental health issues, and he at times believes he's a cockroach, and he finds his way into people's homes and kind of steals little mementos from them. Yeah, so I'd say definitely read this book. The next one I'm really glad I picked up as well. It's the Orenda by Joseph Boyden. The only reason this book isn't my favorite is because I did have a bit of a problem with some of the language in it. I found it kind of unbelievable that some of the characters would talk or use certain words the way they did. But other than that, this is a brilliant story. I'm not going to do a separate review because I will link the videos to Canada Reads. They're totally worth it. They're about 45 minutes a piece, but Wob Canoe, he's from a band actually called A Tribe Called Red, and he is just a brilliant orator, and it is no wonder that this book won Canada Reads this year. So here we have 3 perspectives that take place 400 years in the past. So we have a Jesuit priest, missionary, who's come to the Huron Nation to try and convert people to the Catholic faith. Then we have Bird, who is kind of like a military leader, well-respected man in his tribe. And the third perspective is Snowfalls, who is an Iroquois girl, and she grows up into a woman eventually because this takes place over a span of years. And she was adopted by Bird despite the fact that she comes from an enemy tribe. So it's just a brilliant, epic tale that takes place, you know, pre-formation of Canada during colonization. So this also got 5 out of 5 stars for me. I am still listening to The Shadow Rising, the 4th book in the Wheel of Time series, and I just want to give a big prop to Michael Kramer and Kate Reading because their voices are amazing, and I hate stopping my car and having to get out of it because I want to keep listening to them read. I believe I'm on chapter 20 of like 57 chapters or something like that. Probably almost halfway through now. It's just brilliant. I will be definitely listening to that more this weekend as I'm working and driving around a bit more. I look forward to finishing that up. So I do have a TBR. I thought a lot about TBRs, and before I was very anti-TBR. I just kind of like to pick up as I go along. But I actually really liked having designated books to read in March. I mean, even though I didn't get to all of them, I really liked, you know, not having to think about what I want to read next or feeling guilty for reading, say, something easier than I think I should be reading. So I do have my TBRs listed out for the rest of the year. This should actually put me on a book buying ban because all the books that are on my TBR are books I already own. This is with the exception of the month of September, because September is Word on the Street, which is a great festival where all these companies that have to deal with books in any way, whether they be libraries or bookstores or publishers or authors, all come to this great event in downtown Toronto. And I spend about $300-400 on books there because it's just brilliant. Books are cheap. You get such a selection that you don't normally see in stores, so that's my only exception, and I kind of left September open to just read whatever I want. But for April, I decided I need to get more into back into science fiction, so I've decided to pick up the Dune series. Now I have read Dune, but it's been quite a few years, so I'm gonna reread it. And you see all these have tabs because I worked out that I have to read each book in 5 days in order to get through all 6 of them. So they're designated spots where I want to get to by the end of each day. I think it's really feasible. It's only about 2 hours of reading time each day I worked out to get through all these books, so I may even get through them faster. So I chose the first 6 because these are the ones written by just Frank Herbert. The series continues, and they're written with the help of his son, but I figured just the ones written by him would be good enough. So I'm also going to continue on with Wheel of Time until the end of time, I guess it seems. And that's it. So let me know in the comments if you've read any of these books, if you participated in Canada Reads, if you agree that the Orenda should have won, or if you think one of the other books should have won. And just remember to keep on reading.